So letting go to let in. Today I'm going to talk about how once you let go, you let in. A lot of us, we hold, especially in the manifestation space, we hold on to the things that we want. And the thing with that is you got to know what you want, which is true. But the problem is sometimes we hold on to it, right? We hold on to it too strongly. We're trying to figure out how we're going to get it. How am I going to manifest that relationship? How am I going to manifest that money? How am I going to manifest the things that I want in life? And then by knowing what you want, then the problem comes is we don't let go. We hold on to it. And by holding on to the thing that you want, you actually create resistance. So by holding on to what you want, you're creating resistance. Letting go is letting in. So when you hold on to something, you are creating resistance. Now, why is it that we're holding on to these things though? Because the question is like, yeah, well, why am I holding on to it in the first place? It's because when we're manifesting things, no matter what it is, we feel like we have to control the situation. Like we feel like we have to control it. Like if we're not controlling the entire narrative, it's not going to happen. But when you're trying to control the entire narrative, the universe is like, there's all these ways that this can happen that I'm trying to show you, but you're over here trying to control the situation, trying to hold on to it, holding on and trying to control the situation. And that's because if we don't feel like we're controlling our narrative, that it's not going to happen. But that's the paradox, is the paradox with manifesting, the paradox with getting what you want is you have to let go of it. And when you're letting go of it, then that leads the universe to put it in your way, the way it's supposed to happen. Now, a lot of people will be like, but Jeremy, I have to know what I want and I have to control it to a point to get to where I want, which is true. And that's where you form habits. So if you have the right habits, that will help you let go. So having the right habits, if you have the right habits in place, it'll be easier to let go. Right? Like YouTube, me doing these YouTube videos. Let's say I want to get 5 million followers, right? But I don't want to hold on to getting 5 million followers because I don't know how to do that, right? Like, for instance, let's say I don't know how to do that. But the universe will lead me into those directions that'll get me to that point, right? But what do I have to do to get to that point? I have to create a habit. So if I'm creating a habit, right? If I'm making one YouTube video a day and I'm seeing what's going viral currently, I'm seeing what's working, I'm seeing what other creators are doing, I'm researching my industry and I'm seeing what people like, what's popular, what people want to see. And then I put it in my own words, right? So if I can form those habits and I see what's trending and what's going on, but I let go of the part of 5 million followers because that's too much for me, right? So your mind your conscious mind knows how things have happened, right? Your subconscious mind knows how things will happen, right? So your subconscious mind's pretty much like the universe, right? Like the universe will know how it's going to happen. But that's not your job, and that's too stressful on you. That's putting too much on you. You need to create the right habits to get to where you want to be. For instance, like, for me doing these YouTube videos, I have to have these habits of making one YouTube video a day and researching, you know, what people are like, what people like, and what people are looking for. And that's something I have to do to get to where I want to get to. But part of it is letting go. One of the best ways to put this is with like relationships, right? I've noticed this in my personal life, is when you hold on to something, when you have someone you want to be in a relationship so bad, like you just want to be in a relationship with them so bad, you love this person so much. But the thing is, then they can feel that energy. You're putting off that energy of, I'm needy, I need this person, I'm only happy when this person's around. That gives off a needy feeling, and that pushes away that person. So if you could think about letting go as in that concept of, have you ever noticed that? Have you ever had someone who loved you? You might not necessarily love that person, but have you ever felt that feeling when someone's like, they really, really want you, right? And you can just feel it coming off them and it turned you off. You're like, even if you like that person, like how many attractive people, when you feel that energy off them, even if you're attracted to them, I've had that where I was attracted to somebody and they gave off super needy feelings and I instantly was like, I'm not interested anymore. I'm like, that just seems like way too much. I could just see the toxicity coming off from that. Good person, don't get me wrong, but like I could just feel it and I was like, yeah, no, I'm good. So like, that's like one of a good example of, you know, letting go and how holding on to something, you can hurt that thing. Because why would I be attracted to somebody who is super needy and is using me to rely on their happiness? We have 60,000 thoughts a day, right? So most of our thoughts are negative for the most part. And that's why letting go is so important too, because if you have 60,000 thoughts a day, 60,000 thoughts a day, and let's say half. Let's say 50% are negative. Negative. So if 50% of your thoughts are negative, it's more than that, but I want to give you guys the benefit of the doubt. Let's pretend that our thoughts are more positive than I think they are, right? So 50% of our thoughts are negative. So that means, for the most part, most of our thoughts are negative. So when you're letting go of the situation, you're getting out of your own way. Because when you want something and you hold on to it and you want to manifest, especially with manifestation, no matter what you want to manifest, the problem is we're always focused on our circumstances. When in reality, you need to be living in the end. You need to be living as if what you want, you already have. But if you're focused on your circumstances, you're going to get in your own way. And that's why you're not going to manifest. You could be like, but Jeremy, I want this. I keep thinking about it, but it's not coming. Well, are you focusing on your circumstances? Because your circumstances don't matter. Your circumstances that are currently happening right now in the present came from your past thoughts and actions. So your past thoughts and actions got you to where you are now. Now your future is going to come from your current thoughts and actions. So if you're completely changing around yourself, even 10%, you're going to have a different outcome, say a month from now. So where you're existing right now, where your circumstances are now, is not where they're going to be. If you change yourself even 10%, you're going to be in a different reality even a month from now. So you got to be living in the end. Whatever you want out of life, you have to live in the end. And circumstances do not matter. Only state of being matters. So if you let go of your circumstances and you stop paying attention to your circumstances and you truly live in the end, no matter what you want, live in the end. What does living in the end mean? That means pretending as if what you want is already here. When you're driving your car, whatever car your dream car is, pretend that's what you're driving. Pretend you're driving that car, not your current car, right? If you want that relationship with that special person, pretend you're already in it. Like you're already there. It's already happened. Because you're always doing this all the time. You're using your imagination every single day, but it's just so normalized to us because we're using it in a way that it just seems so normal to us. It's like, aren't you ever drive in traffic and you're just like, I know that asshole's gonna pull out in front of me, and he pulls out in front of you? That's you using your imagination. And then, but you don't realize that you just created that because it happens so normally to you and you've been doing it so long, and it's not something that you're excited about, you're pissed off about. So of course you're not going to be focusing on that. And of course you're going to be like, but I'm not creating my own reality. You just did create your own reality. And you do it on a day-to-day basis. It's just, we're not creating for the most part what we want. So therefore we don't want to act like we create our own reality because we're disappointing ourselves. And who wants to look in the mirror and be like, I created this, I'm fully responsible. I hate my life because I created this and I'm fully responsible. But once you take the bull by the horns and you're like, I'm fully responsible for everything I'm doing currently. So if I'm not happy where I'm currently at, what do I need to do to get to where I want to be? What person do I need to become to get to where I want to be? And then start doing that. And then using your current situation and get mad as hell at it. Be like, this is bad. I don't like being where I'm at. I want to be in a better position. And then let go of your current position and only focus on and live in the end of where you want to be. If you want a new business or whatever business you're doing, if you want to be successful, if you're, for instance, in the restaurant business, imagine that all your tables and chairs are full. Imagine people enjoying your food. Imagine being on the local news about how good your food is and how everybody's going there and how you got great prices. Imagine something like that. You just got to imagine and you got to live in that energy. And you don't have to feel like that all day long. It's just do it 15 minutes a day. Do it 15 minutes a day. Feel that joy, feel that gratitude that you have for where you're currently at. Then let it go and let the universe come to you and let your dreams come fulfilled, as long as you have your habits. So to recap, when you let go, you let in. Because if you're letting go, you can't let anything in unless you let go. The thing is, a lot of us, we're living in the story that we've always told ourselves. Like your story that you told yourself, the way you're grown up, everything that's ever happened to you, that's your past. Yes, that has created you to a point to where you are now, but that's your past. If you have a very bad past that does not serve you no longer, then let go of it. How are you supposed to attract positive things in your life and things that are not that past that you want to attract if you're holding on to it? When you hold on to these negative things that happened in your life, and I understand it's hard to let go of. I have a lot of baggage that I have let go of and that still I hold on to from my past. But unless you let go of that baggage, you're going to attract that same situation, that same type of people and that same scenario because you're in that vibration. When you're sitting and letting and holding on to things that no longer serve you, you're in that vibration. And when you're in that vibration, you're letting more things come to you like that. That's your vibration. And then you're like, but I don't want to attract these things. But you're holding on to it and you're constantly thinking about it. So that's your energy and that's what you're going to attract. And then when you hold on to it, it's creating resistance. Just what I said, when you're holding on to it, you're creating resistance and you're putting yourself on that level of energy and you're getting in front of your own way. And then habits. Whatever you want, you have to create a habit for that. Like if you want to be in a better relationship or you want to practice letting go of someone you really, really care about, you need to become a different person. You need to practice every day letting go of certain things. Let's, for instance, say it might not be letting go of that relationship at first. Let's say, for instance, it's something smaller that you're letting go of, that you're practicing and letting go of. Whatever habits you need to do every day to practice letting go of certain things, like instead of getting mad at traffic, be like, you know what? Everything's happened the way it's supposed to happen, and I'm pissed off in traffic, but you know what? I'm gonna let it go. Someone cuts you off, let it go. Just start with small things of letting go. And then you have 60,000 thoughts a day. And most of those are negative thoughts. That's why when you're letting go, you're not getting in front of your own way. You're not thinking about about why it's not here. If it's not here and you're focusing on why it's not here, then it's not gonna come because you're focusing on not here. And that's the energy that you're vibrating. And then live in the end. Circumstances don't matter, only state of being matters. The only thing that matters is your state of being and how you feel right now. The only thing that ever matters is your present, right? Everything that you've ever attracted, you attracted by thinking about it and feeling about it in your present moment. All the past that you're thinking about now, you're thinking about it presently. So if you're thinking about all this past shit that has happened to you and that created to who you are and why you are this person, that's because you're thinking about it in the present moment. You're thinking about it and feeling about it in the present. It doesn't exist anymore. The past is the past. I want you guys to comment below, let go. And I'll see you in the next one.